In reply to why you don't owe this money, you say three things, two of which I construe on your behalf in law. The first is this was not an agreement in writing, and therefore it's not enforceable because you don't have a contract in law where there's an intention to create legal relations between the two of you. I have to say, that's a very difficult point for you to overcome because the two of you were friends. Your second point is that there was a problem in any event. What do you say the problem was?
There was something wrong with the engine, Judge.
How long did you have it for before you traded it in?
A month or two, Judge.
1 month? And you said there was something wrong with the engine. That's your technical diagnosis, is it?
Yes, Judge.
Did you diagnose it? Did you go and take it elsewhere?
I took it to a garage, Judge, and they says it needed the top half of the engine rebuilt.
You didn't take anybody to see the car in the first place. Buyer beware, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Excellent. Now, in respect of the money, your third point in reply is that you need extra time to pay. Is that potentially right? Well, bearing in mind how much you were... Is that right?
Yes, Judge.
Bearing how much money you were making, why can you not carry on this £500 a month that you may or may not owe him?
Because I then got the BMW, Judge.
Yes. So what? You've got a debt to the BMW company.
Yes, Judge.
Yes. Well, help me. I need to get into my listening pose. It helps me try and translate. Do you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Moron. Just pause for a second. This is why it's moronic. Because you're telling me, sir, that you don't owe him the money because you've got into debt with the BMW company.
Yes, Judge.
I'm waiting. Why don't you owe it to him?
I do owe it to him, Judge, but because I couldn't afford that, because of the finance on the BMW and insurance, so I couldn't actually afford to pay him back.
What is the insurance of BMW at your age?
It was £250 a month.
£250 per month?
Yes, Judge.
Your obligation to him, assuming I find there is a legally enforceable contract, would have been £500. Are you paying that fee?
No, yes, Judge.
Were you aware until these proceedings that he had traded in that vehicle for the BMW?
Yes, Judge.
And how disappointed were you?
I was very disappointed, Judge. And as the messages from Facebook states, I did message him numerous times about the case, and he did say there was a problem with the engine. I said, so why did you not sell it back to me?
In other words, you would have bought it back?
Yes, Judge.
Well, that was a good offer. Let me just see that particular text message before we come to judgment. I wasn't aware of that. Don't worry, if you just hand it up to me, I'll have a look. Is it in English or Scottish?
Scottish, Judge.
It's fine. Much nicer.
However, Judge, I'm not sure if it's in there because Connor's had numerous Facebooks that I got blocked on.
You blocked him on Facebook? Why?
Because I was embarrassed I couldn't pay him back, Judge.
Now, whether there's any reference in here to him offering to buy it back, do you remember a message of that kind?
Yes, Judge.
So why didn't you agree to that offer?
I didn't have the car, Judge. It was already gone by then.
Did he tell you that at the time?
He told me that afterwards, Judge.
Understood. And you're genuinely cross about it.
Yes, Judge.
And I have to say, you're in genuine legal difficulty here, and I have to decide what to do.
Yes, Judge.
I'm going to rule now. Was the car transferred to Connor legally via the V5? Did
Yes.
you actually have legal ownership of the vehicle?
Yes, Judge.
Very important, thank you. Patrick, I said during the course of these proceedings that you were in substantial legal difficulty. The reason you're in difficulty is because you sold Connor a vehicle on a handshake. It's accepted that money changed hands for sure, but you have absolutely nothing in writing. In circumstances like that, the difficulty that you have is proving you have an enforceable contract, because if every time people, friends, family did this sort of thing, lent friends money and took them to court, that's all the courts would deal with. There has to be an intention in the minds of the parties at the time that in the event the other person doesn't pay, you're going to take the matter to court. In this case, bearing in mind, my last question in the proceedings was whether or not you handed over the ownership documents. And because of the admissions that have been made in this court, I am satisfied that he verbally agreed to purchase the car, did so purchase the car, and gave you a clear indication of when he would pay you back. If he couldn't have afforded it, it was his obligation to sell it independently, give you the money, and then pay whatever was left outstanding. Therefore, I'm entirely satisfied that you do have an enforceable agreement here. Understood?
Yes, sir.
But I should tell you I do so on a narrow margin in circumstances where there's a lesson for you, because if you don't get this sort of thing in writing, there is a substantial chance that you'll lose your case. This court awards you £2,650.
Patrick won his case and was awarded the full amount of his claim. Let's find out how both parties felt about their day in court.
I'm going to pay off the rest that I'm due to my granddad and then possibly book a holiday.
Obviously, Patrick's quite happy. I'm quite happy that we can probably go back to being friends again.
I was really frustrated, obviously. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we were trusted. We used to go out quite a lot, hang about, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
That's it, it's over and done with now.
Aye.
I was definitely disappointed. Breaking friendship and trust.
I think Judge Rinder is really fair and he handled the case really well.
Don't be stupid. Stay and watch the best Judge Rinder moments. And I'm talking. Understood? Don't be a moron. Subscribe to Judge Rinder YouTube channel. Right now. That's an order.